So, we do know that in this case there is an abundance of what could be called, I guess, bullshit. But when it comes to facts, what is there? What do we know? Well, I'll tell you what we do know. We know that TBI's own website that tracks what is going on in this case has not been updated for 3 months. There has been literally no update at all by the TBI in 3 months exactly to the day. The last update being on the 2nd of March, and it's now the 2nd of June. So that's where we stand from an official viewpoint. What do we know about the case so far? Apparently, the essays in the area have been questioned. So for those who kind of think, look, there's around 57 offenders in this area, have they been questioned? Apparently, yes, they have. Have the neighbours' houses been searched? Have the neighbours been questioned? Yes, apparently they have. The property at Ben Hill Road, has it been searched, and has it been searched thoroughly? Apparently so. The property, including the basement and crawl spaces, has indeed been searched. When do they claim was the last time that Summer was seen? Now, this is where it gets a little bit confusing, because we've obviously heard that the boys, the siblings, stated that they had seen Summer wander off, which, if you look at it from a viewpoint of who would have been the last to see her, then it would have been the boys, but not according to TBI. They are going with Candace's statement that she was the last person to see Summer. They have not mentioned on there that the boys were the last to see Summer. They have apparently searched the flower pots that were used on that day, and they have collected all the digital data, including the phones, and that has been gathered and filed. They're not willing to go into more details on the timeline itself, because they're saying that that is to basically hold up the integrity of the case. So that is a telltale sign, because that would tell me that there's an issue with the timeline. And I know there's going to be a load of you thinking,
what? There's an issue with the timeline, and we thought that was nailed down tight.
but no, it would appear that there's potential issues with the timeline, and TBI are not releasing the information about that. But look, there is minimal information. In terms of official news, we are incredibly limited to what information is out there. But it would appear that what TBI think is that there is no evidence that they have found to date that Summer was abducted. Now, don't get me wrong, I guess that doesn't mean that she wasn't abducted, it just means that there was no evidence of. But depending on where you live and the area itself and what evidence that area can provide could impact that. What I mean is, if someone is abducted from an area that's got high CCTV, high traffic, so there's more chance of being caught on camera or eyewitness accounts, or they have to physically get into a property and perhaps break into that property to get to the child, then that's your evidence. But if a child is taken from an area that is relatively remote, they are potentially taken from the garden, there is no CCTV footage, because there's no CCTV, you would be limited to what evidence could be produced anyway. So that doesn't mean that she wasn't abducted, it just means that there is no evidence to support such a thing. And that's kind of the official, that's where we are officially. Where are we unofficially? We've just got a case that is surrounded by idiots and buffoons. We just seem to have a load of people who have pushed themselves into the Summerwells limelight for what? It seems to me that they just want to get money. It's all about money now. They've noted that this is getting media attention. There is earning potential off the back end of it, and they are milking that to the absolute death. But I just thought that I would do a quick update on where we are officially. For those of you who are not interested in the drama, they're not interested in the bullshit, and want to know officially where we are in this case, that's pretty much where we are. We're no further forward, really, than where we ever have been. And it appears in their own updates that they've done pretty much everything they can in terms of the investigative procedures. They've looked everywhere, they've talked to anyone that they need to talk to. The data, the digital data, everything has been collected, and it's now a case of dealing with that. And if they've gone through all that and that doesn't provide them with a clear image of what happened to Summer, it could now be a case that they're waiting for someone to slip up, whether it be in one of these fantastical 3-hour lives that we get to see and enjoy on the near daily basis. We don't know. But look, ultimately, you're the ones who will make your mind up who is relevant and who is irrelevant. And I will be touching on that in another video later on today about the irrelevant and relevant people. But that's it. That's facts. And I shall catch you all in the next one.